And good Saturday morning. A wet one, but a good Saturday morning. Not going to complain about it this time. We could actually use some rain. It's been pretty dry for this time of year. And
you have to mow your grass more.
Well, yeah, but yeah, that's okay.
I'm willing to sacrifice that.
Especially if it'll beat the pollen down.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I've actually been a little better this past week than I was the previous month.
Not sneezing your head off.
So maybe not as much. You heard me sneeze this morning once in here, but other than that, it's been a lot less. So maybe I'm getting near the end of whatever it is out there that I'm so allergic to. But
now you can get ready for 90 plus.
That's coming.
It's coming
by the weekend, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Rain off and on today, so don't get too excited. Don't know exactly what the percentage chance is. You know, yesterday was supposed to rain all day, and that's the prettiest rain I've ever seen. It was a pretty nice day.
Particularly toward the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Breeze blowing, no humidity. How's it supposed to rain all the time? But I didn't even feel any humidity in the air.
Yeah.
Now I felt some in there this morning, but actual rain was falling this morning when I got up. But now it's just cloudy and looks like a thread of rain throughout most of the day today. But we'll see. That's not going to stop a lot of sports from taking place. Some of those. Now, there's one NBA game today.
No,
none today.
Two tomorrow.
Today. That's right, because two teams are in place, and you told me the other two are tomorrow.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking like one day. But Miami's already advanced. Golden State's advanced.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting
On Boston, Milwaukee, and on Phoenix and Dallas.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. And they are both headed to a one-game play-in now, right? Because it's Game 7 for coming up for both on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting.
And Boston will be at home for that game, right, Brett?
Yeah.
And that hasn't mattered at all, has it? I know the last two games have been won by the road team.
Yeah. I don't think it matters all that much. I mean, you'd rather be at home, but
you'll take a win no matter where you get it.
Those teams seem so even.
Yeah, it's been a good series. Probably, obviously the best, I think. Although certainly Phoenix, Dallas, who went to a seventh game as well. But,
and there was talk yesterday about the possibility of Chris Middleton playing last night, but he didn't. He wasn't able to play. So, a couple more days, maybe he will be able to play in Game 7. But he hadn't played the whole series, so I don't know if he's their second best player. So I guess you do want him if he can play. But
now, Brett, you follow this closely. I'm going to ask you, and I know that it was a 4-2 series for the Warriors, and was it a 4-2 series for Miami?
Yeah,
it was.
But how competitive were the two series? Just other than 4-2, I mean, was there any games or most games could go either way, or was there blowouts, or was one team totally in control?
The Warriors-Grizzlies series, there were a couple games that Golden State won that could have went the other way.
Yeah, exactly. It was a 117-116 game.
Yeah, that was game one. That
yeah.
Ja Morant missed a shot at the buzzer that would have won it.
Yeah.
And then there was a game that Golden State won by 3.
So pretty competitive series.
Yeah.
And then game 5 with Memphis facing elimination, they won by 40 and had a 53-point lead in that game.
The team that lost the series won by 40.
And most of those without Ja Morant. He went out.
Is that one of those
games
2
or 3
games where maybe they got down 20 and 25 and said, we're not coming back here, we'll just rest
probably.
our guys? I mean, I wonder if they did, why get worn out on a game you're probably,
Yeah, Curry and Thompson played 25 minutes.
Yeah, that was
Draymond Green played 22.
Yep.
So they got got down enough, they just threw in the towel.
Rested up for game 6.
Rested up, yeah.
Was that game 5?
Yeah.
Rested up for game 6. But
then that was in Memphis, so they knew, they were going back home with a chance to close it out. So, yeah.
And Klay Thompson got back on the beam. He had 30 points in the win last night.
So they pretty much got their whole unit still together with the exception of Durant, who made a pit stop.
Their last title team,
everybody.
I think the key operatives are there except for Durant.
So I asked this question: who has the better chance of knocking off these Golden State Warriors? Would that be Dallas or would that be Phoenix? Who do you think's a tougher matchup?
I think Phoenix is. I just think they're a better team. They have good guards that can,
And we're in the finals last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
sometimes they didn't win it, right? And that makes you a little hungrier to.
could be.
Yeah. I think they're a better defensive team than Dallas. Dallas is pretty much Luka, and then if he gets some help from the role players, then they're pretty good. If he doesn't get any help, then they're pretty bad.
Now, did he win the MVP?
I was going to ask the
league?
exact same question. Did
No,
I dream that?
He's not won the MVP. Nikola Jokic won.
Yeah,
in
Jokic.
Denver
Okay.
won his
That's
second in a row.
Okay. His second in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he averaged like 29, 12, and 8 assists or something.
Do they show the
Something-
voting and
something.
show who was second in that and third?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I thought Embiid would win it this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
A lot of people did.
That's what I was going to ask next. Do you think it was a deserving MVP? And
it was deserving. But I mean, I would have voted for Embiid.
who was the last multiple MVP?
But Giannis won it 2 years in a
okay.
row before
I was going
Jokic.
to say other than LeBron, because I'm sure LeBron probably won it.
Yeah,
Won
and I
it.
think Curry won 2 in a row.
Okay. But that's about the very few are like LeBron and Jordan that win it.
Yeah,
a lot of years in a row.
I think Durant has only won it once.
Really?
Harden won 1. Westbrook won 1.
Is Durant, maybe I was going to say this him, but are Durant and Kyrie likely to be at the same team next year?
I think they will.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, it's so
you
many-
never know with Kyrie.
I was going to say if one's gone, which
he's-
one is it?
I mean, I don't think that team ever came together because of the weird thing with Kyrie couldn't play in New York. And
Yeah.
then there was just so
Yeah,
many
well, he
other-
sat. He didn't play at all for the first
Mhm.
over half the season, I think,
Yeah.
or about half the season.
Yeah. The experiment of getting 3 superstars together for various reasons just didn't work out, and I don't know what the future holds. But
And now they have Ben Simmons, who hasn't played
What is it? What
played
a
for him
joke is
yet.
that?
Yeah,
I mean, what is it?
does
What a
he
joke
even
is
want to play?
is the league with people like
Yeah.
Simmons, and I'll even hammer Zion on this
Yeah.
as one of those guys too. and
Yeah,
Kyrie. and
Zion seems
Yeah.
healthy, but didn't play.
What has happened to when
You
people wanted to play?
wanted to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Money was secondary. I mean, there was a time money was secondary, and that time is not now.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
You
you're
know-
not going to get too many Willis Reeds, coming back from the locker room to lead his team to a come from behind win. Like the Knicks
Ben
did.
Simmons seems scared, like he's maybe anxiety issues or something about
Yeah.
playing.
I think he has some headspace issues.
Yeah, Kyrie is off the court social issues.
Yeah.
Why he's not playing, and Zion, I don't know.
Are these guys getting paid? Is what I want. Are they still getting paid through all this? Yeah. I know guys that get hurt in playing, they get paid,
They
and
get
they
paid.
deserve to get paid.
Yeah.
They really. If you get
Yeah.
injured playing, that's what you're doing.
Well, Zion's definitely getting paid.
Is he?
I don't know what Kyrie's got or didn't get for the games he missed. I would think he did not get paid when he wasn't playing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Ben
that's what-
Simmons probably did because he's out due to injury.
I think I read that Kyrie wasn't getting paid because the game he came back, tickets like tripled.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you agree with that? When a superstar comes back, should the tickets triple? And I told you my thoughts on that, I think, about a month ago. And it was, I got no
Well,
problem
it's just
with
more
it.
gouging of the fans. We're used to it. I mean, it's always the
But
fans.
I think I related to this for you, Mike. If the Rolling Stones came and Jagger's not there, is the ticket going to cost you as much as if he was?
it shouldn't.
So, but it will.
Yeah.
It'll be.
I know they're not going to. They're not going to.
They're not going to sell $150 tickets without Mick Jagger.
No.
Oh, really? I mean, are they? Are
No,
Yeah.
but are they going to come with that? I mean, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the Nets are still going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But,
I don't know whether the Stones could perform without Jagger.
Well, I hope they never try to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was just
Yeah.
an analogy that I thought of that
But no, I would not go see,
you
I
pay for
wouldn't
the
go see it.
product. You
Yeah.
pay for the product. If the product's better, you'll pay more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
The law of
I just
supply
wouldn't
and
pay
demand.
anything for that, for the Rolling Stones without Mick Jagger. I'd probably still go see the Nets without.
You can compare.
Kyrie.
We can compare it to shoes, right? Shoes are shoes, but some people buy them for $25, and some people buy them for $250. You know, or I mean, that's just something to throw out. You know, you pay for what you want, or what you know.
Yep.
The only difference is you have a choice with the shoes. You don't have a choice with the with the ticket prices.
That's right.
You either sit at home. I guess that's your choice.
Yeah.
Pay it and go. Sit at home, watch it on TV. Which I've told you before. Once high def widescreens were invented, my days of going to the stadium, I'll go some, but you know, just because, especially if it's somewhere I've never been, I'll go.
A bucket list thing.
But other than that, everything's better.
I think the best
home.
thing to experience is college football.
Yep.
To experience in person. Everything else I think is better on TV. NFL is definitely better on TV.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how about college basketball?
I haven't been to enough college basketball to even know.
Well, we certainly.
I've only been to a couple.
Obviously, that's the matchup you go to, right?
I've been to Duke and Carolina, but they were always at Chapel Hill.
Right.
Or like in an ACC tournament.
What makes football better?
Well, I think it's the outside the stadium experience is good.
Tailgating.
And you probably don't get that with college basketball.
Nope.
Not very often.
Yeah,
a lot of these stadiums have
go ahead.
80 to 100,000 fans. I think that's fun.
And college basketball to me is the matchup. I mean, you know, if I can go to North Carolina or Duke and watch them two play in person, it's probably going to be a better experience than TV.
Outside
It
of
may
that,
not
though,
be. It may not be. And if I could go to Rupp Arena, I would love to go to Rupp Arena and watch a Kentucky game against Louisville, probably.
Well,
you know,
I'd also
if
like
I got
to see a
pick one.
game in at Kansas.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
And a Final Four would be fun, I think.
I think
But
Michigan
I wouldn't want to
State
be
would
in
be fun just because of the atmosphere inside.
I wouldn't want to go to a Final Four and be way up in the upper level. I don't think that would be fun
That would
at all.
not be fun. You'd be watching it on the monitor.
Yeah.
The big screen.
And then you tell everybody, I was there. And then everybody you tell that, I said, well, I was about as close as you were.
Yeah.
You're up there in orbit.
Yeah, well, I think once, I don't know when exactly they started going to the football arenas for the Final Four, but it lost something. There's no question about it.
But you have to do it.
Got to do it.
You have to do it. You can sell 70,000 seats over 25, you know.
Yeah. And I can't remember when the last Final Four was that was held in a normal arena. Can you guys think? I mean, before it went supersized.
Kentucky, Texas
thing?
Western.
No, well.
Well, Duke played in
1980
'94 in the Charlotte Coliseum.
That's right.
Yeah, they lost to
That's
Arkansas in the Charlotte Coliseum, which held probably
40 minutes
25.
of hell turned out to be a minute, last second of hell for the Duke.
It did.
Yeah, that's right. The Charlotte Coliseum.
So did the Louisville loss.
But there's probably been more. I doubt that was the last one.
Well, I remember in '83, of course, NC State's Cardiac Pack won in the Pit, which was at the University of was in Albuquerque. That was not a huge arena. That was a normal arena. But
and that was who was that again?
You know, NC State's 83 championship.
One of their
Over.
Well, where did they play in Minneapolis before?
Yeah. Well, that was in a football arena, right?
Was it always?
I think they played in the Vikings' old stadium
Yeah.
with the bubble, didn't they?
Yeah.
The something dome. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Now it's some bank, U.S. Bank Stadium. Is that what it is now? Then it was the Metrodome. Minneapolis Metrodome.
The Metrodome.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may have not always been that. Once they got a sponsor and money.
And what was Detroit's old
Pontiac Silverdome?
Yeah,
Pontiac
Silverdome. That's right. And Seattle had the Kingdome.
That's because it's King County.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that, and I
Kingdome.
found out it's because that Seattle was in King County.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't the Kings always, but that's yeah. So who, Brett, and Mike, because Mike's been keeping up with this a whole lot better than me because he's got a lot more comments here. Who's the favorite now with the 6 teams that are left? And it's going to be hard to pick one to be the favorite. You can say the one that comes out of Boston, Milwaukee.
That's kind of what I think.
Is it?
Those 2 teams are playing at a really high level.
So the survivor there will beat Miami? You think? I mean, obviously you don't know. But
let's don't sell Miami short. I mean, they had the best record in the East, right?
Yeah, they are the 1 seed.
And they got great coaching. I don't think Eric
Spoelstra
gets enough credit. He's got 2 NBA titles under his belt, and he's got that going for them. And so, yeah.
I think if Milwaukee can knock off Boston and they get Chris Middleton back, that would be my pick.
Yeah, if they do get him back.
And then on the other side, I would say Golden State just because they're sitting there waiting and they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, help me here real quick. Memphis, smaller market. Golden State, big market. Boston, big market.
Big market. Milwaukee, small market.
Small. And then the other 2 to the left are Phoenix.
And Miami.
And small.
Yeah.
And Miami's probably middle of the
Yeah.
road.
Dallas is, they have Mark Cuban, so yeah.
It's a big market.
It's a big market.
Well, it's a lot of population now. But
Yeah.
So I just wondering how, baseball, we look at football, and it doesn't matter what kind of market you're in. You can be competitive. It's set up to be that way. Baseball's still the only sport out there that's just so lopsided, so off kilter. You've got 10 teams that are really good, and the rest of the other 20 are not going to win it. Not going to win it.
They'll have a prayer.
Not much of one.
And teams in small markets that don't are cash strapped.
I give Tampa a lot of credit because they've been very competitive over the years in the market they're in. I just don't know if they can hang this year. I mean, the Yankees look like they're going to run away with that division.
Well, you got the 4 New York and L.A. teams
all in first place.
Are doing really well.
Are they all still in first place? Because it was like the first time ever.
Really?
It was. Yeah, I heard
don't
that the other
know
day.
about
the
the
first
Angels,
time
but
ever.
I know the other 3 are.
No, the Angels are only like half a game or a game back, right? I think.
But when they did hit first place this year, which was about a week ago, I heard that was the first time ever that the 2 LAs and the 2 New Yorks have been in first place at the same time since they moved. The Dodgers moved from Brooklyn.
Yeah, the Angels are half a game back right now.
Okay.
That's because Houston's won 11 in a row.
I'm glad to see that for the
11 in a row for Houston. No Correa, no Springer, and they've won 11 in a row.
Yep.
Are they?
They also lost Zach Greinke, but they got Verlander back.
Well, that's a help.
He's been really good.
God, how much time did he miss? Verlander. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't it a long time? I mean, it just seems like to me. It just seems like
it was a full season, and it went back
years.
to the previous postseason. I think.
So
I think he got
year
hurt.
And a half.
Yeah,
not quite, but year and a half of time. Maybe that's why, because you got that gap of 6 months. Nobody's playing, and then he was already out, forced to go home with Kate. I can't even think of her name.
Terrible fate, right?
Upton,
Kate Upton. But yeah, that's at one time, just think about it. The Detroit Tigers top 2 starters were Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. That was their 2 guys. They had both those guys on that roster. And is it because they couldn't afford them that they bolted?
It's usually the case.
Yeah. I mean, Detroit's a pretty big market. But how rich is the Tigers team? I don't know how deep their pockets are compared to New York, L.A.,
and Scherzer went
Boston.
to Washington, and Verlander to
big
Houston.
Market. Big market.
But it's not like they left and went to the Yankees.
No, but they went for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is why
I don't remember how they ended up on.
Well, the Yankees can't get everybody.
Verlander, it seems like
God knows they've
traded
tried
to Houston,
but they can't get everybody. I mean, if the Yankees, I guess if they had their way, they'd have a 75-man roster, and they wouldn't have to worry about anybody beating them. But
well, here's the question.
And I'm not blaming them. It's a system. I'm not blaming them. I'd do it too.
Why hasn't baseball followed the model of the NFL, which creates interest every year and parity and a team can rise up out of nowhere in 1 or 2 seasons. And
Here's
be
the
a contender.
part that bothers me about that, Mike. That really bothers me more than any of it. Look at the stadiums and the crowds in these smaller markets now that know they don't have a chance.
Yeah,
It's sad.
it is.
10, 15,000 at a game.
If you,
Yeah,
and that's early in the
Pittsburgh.
season.
I don't
I
know about
watched the
Cincinnati.
Dodgers and Pirates play
How many
this
people
week.
were there?
It was sad. It
You
was.
could count
It
'em?
was. Yeah, it was bad. And Pittsburgh beat them 2 out of 3.
And that was a once proud
Yeah.
baseball city.
But it was
Oh, yeah.
bad.
But
Especially
it's
the
been
afternoon
really-
game was, maybe 10%
Mhm.
of the stadium was filled.
And you wonder, will baseball eventually go away there? Will it eventually go away in Minnesota or Tampa? I'm just trying to think of these that
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. I don't know what their crowds have been
I
like
don't either.
in Colorado. I really don't. But and to me, I mean, if you're going to keep national interest, you better stay in those cities. You better find a way to stay in those cities. I think, because I don't think there's a lot of I don't think there's a lot of interest in some of them, just like you talked about, in Pittsburgh and places like that right now. What's the crowd's been like in Cincinnati? I mean, they're the worst team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can't be good.
No. But I do think if Cincinnati could win consistently, which they haven't done, I think Cincinnati's still a big enough market. I think they would have decent crowds,
Right.
if they're being successful. But yeah,
It says the attendance. Well, this is Cincinnati at Pittsburgh last night. Attendance was 12,000.
yeah, it looks pretty sparse on TV, probably.
Butch Parker up and at it this morning.
All
Good to hear
right.
from him. Great
Hello.
to see and hear the band back together. So Mike Powell, after his 1 week hiatus. Lenny Anthony did a fantastic job. We were glad to have Lenny in with
Excellent.
us last week.
I'm glad you
And,
got a very capable substitute.
Let me tell you about Lenny, okay? Come in here carrying a notepad.
Oh,
He had some
took
written
this
stuff.
serious. Oh, he was
He had a
ready to roll.
trivia question ready, and
All
oh
right.
yeah, he was
Damn, I think
Yeah.
he wants my job.
Yeah, that's
I better
right,
Start
yeah.
start getting some prep done. Notes, trivia. Ooh.
I need Rodney
job.
Willis to find another way. Tune in if anybody's tried and switched outlets. Our tune in is not working at the moment. Lanny is in Mooresville doing a remote. He's trying to do it from remotely, right? He's trying to do it from there. and get
Remote,
fixed,
doing it
but-
remotely.
But Rodney, I know you can't hear me, but I need you to text Lanny, not me. I can't fix it. So he said, "Tell him you're killing me, Smalls." That was his last quote. So,
Tell him to get in the car.
sitting,
Come on up.
I'll tell him.
Studio.
I'll send that. Brett said, "Sit in the car."
Yeah.
We're going to take our first time out, talk a little bit about the NBA and what's coming up and what's left. Very exciting times. I mean, it's close. One thing I did not do this week was spend a lot of time watching the hockey playoffs. Mike, you weren't here, and I talked about watching some hockey last week because I flipped it over to hockey, and there was a guy in a suit laying on a stretcher. So I couldn't turn it when I flipped over to
Had
hockey.
to
And
watch
was,
that.
I had to find out what was going on. But this week I didn't watch as much, and I don't know. I'm guessing that Carolina has eliminated Boston. Brett don't know either. He said, "Don't ask me." Brett saying, "Please don't ask me that." But I'm guessing that is the
Game 7 today.
is it?
Yep.
Where
Raleigh, 4:30.
Boston will win because I don't think
You want to go?
I think you know what I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, if it
That
wasn't
was-
so far away.
Right, that would be.
If it was
Well, you
in
can't
Charlotte,
get a
I
ticket
would.
now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say you can't get a ticket anyway now, but that would be fun to see a Game 7 on the ice.
Or Edmonton tonight at 10.
So how long of a drive's that?
I have no idea.
I doubt we can make
Too
it.
long.
If I doubt we
Toronto
can
at
make
7. We could make that one if we left right now.
it. Could we?
But could we
Yeah,
make
I think so.
we make Amarillo by morning? That would be the question I would ask. I don't know.
Only in a plane
Yeah.
would be my
Oh,
guess.
yeah, I
Only in
just
a plane.
wondered.
So the Rangers beat the Penguins 5-3. That series is tied 3-3. This happened on Friday night. The Panthers beat the Capitals. That's the Florida Panthers beat the Capitals 4-3. They win the series 4-2. And the Stars beat the Flames. How about that? The Stars and the Flames. Both of them lit it up, right? 4-2 last night, and that series is also tied 3-3. So the hockey is very, very, very competitive, it looks like, with the even the 4-2 ones. I consider 4-2 pretty competitive.
Yeah.
As Brett said today, the Bruins and the Hurricanes at 4:30 ESPN, the Lightning and the Maple Leafs at 7 o'clock tonight on TNT, the Kings and the Oilers at 10 o'clock tonight on
ESPN.
ESPN, yes it is. So there you go, hockey in full
And
swing.
2 more games
as
Sunday.
well. Full swing as well. We'll take a timeout. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. Sorry, Nobby. Brett said get in the car. Get in the car.
Get in the car.
We'll be back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back. Mike is old. No, that's I translated it. I'm sorry. Lenny says Mike's a legend. Well, it means you're old, right?
Oh.
Mike's a legend. His job is safe. I just had to come in prepared to do his, I guess, and the show.
Wow, hey.
To do him and the show standards. There you go. That's right. That's right. Enjoyed having you, as we said, coming in with us
I'm glad
last
he
week.
brought in a trivia question.
He did. I don't remember what it was now, but do you, Brett?
It was about baseball managers' winning percentage.
Yeah, because of
and,
Dusty Baker.
Number of wins.
Because Dusty Baker had reached 2,000. How many current, and his winning percentage is what, like 53%?
Yeah.
How many managers have that good a winning percentage
And at least
active right now?
At least 1,000 wins.
And 1,000 wins or more, yes. 1,000 wins or more and that kind of percentage. And we got some of them. Some of them we didn't. And some of them, if you think about it long enough and you go through and you see the guys, you probably get it.
Yeah.
You know, but like there was a couple guests like Buck Showalter that didn't have the winning percentage, right, Brett? Yeah. Rodney is happy now.
YouTube did it for him.
TuneIn's working.
TuneIn's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whichever way he got it.
He got it.
He's got it. That's the main thing. Whichever way he's got it, he's got it.
So we actually have several platforms.
About five.
About four or five, yeah.
Yep.
You watched on.
Yep. And don't forget, you folks, that if you're in range and you listen to us on 1050 AM, check out the FM if you can, 107.5, because if you're in, like I said, if you're in range, which is a pretty good distance, you know, maybe 12 miles in
12.
every direction, so it's pretty good, pretty strong, clear, much clearer.
Much clearer, usually better signal.
Yep. As with any
more stable signal,
FM versus AM. Let's see here. Let's go to the much as this is the segment that we got to do every week that I hate the most. Anybody?
Must be the American League East standings.
It's Major League Baseball, period.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball,
not a good time for you right now.
No. The 12-20 Boston Red Sox.
Ooh.
They should be called They should be the Boston Red Sox that didn't do anything to improve their team last season. That's what I want them named.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't tell me anything they did to improve their team last year. And it is. You know, I don't care that they're not keeping pace with the Yankees, who are red hot, by the way, and on top. I expected to see this team above 500. I expect to see them above 500 every single year, because guess what? When it comes to payroll, I'm going to guess right now they may be in the top 5. They're definitely got to be in the top 10, right, in payroll. They might be paying the wrong people, but might be wasting money. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on there with the Red Sox. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: if you're not careful, GM, owner, everything will get run out of Boston, because they don't put up with it too long.
Yeah. Well, it's still early, but it doesn't look good.
It is still early, and that's why they're only 15 games out or whatever it is. So when we get to the All-Star break, they'll be 25.
25 games out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if your team gets so behind early, what a long season it is. What a long, strange trip it is. I mean, my God. You have nothing by the time the All-Star break happens, I mean, nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, Boston is 8-11. Okay? That's their record. Excuse me. I don't know. That's away. They're 12-20.
Yeah.
They're 12-20. Do you know who won 6 games in the last 8? Just think, who won 6 of their last 8? Boston's 12-20. This team won half that many this week. Who do you think won half that many this week? In 8 days. I say this week, but in an 8-day span. The Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
Who had 3? They were like 3-20 at one time, and they went 6-2 over their last 8, according to Lenny. He says, tell Denny and Steve K the Reds have been hot this week, 6-2. I trashed them with some stats last week, and they have been on a roll since. Only my Red Sox continue to stink. Well, hammer them too. Trash us with some stats because it has not been pretty. Boston has 2 guys in the lineup they depend on to do everything, and 2 guys can't get it done. And those 2 guys have been pretty hot for the most part, and that's Devers and, oh, good Lord, shortstop Bogarts. They just you can't rely on 2 guys when other teams are scoring.
Well, what about J.D. Martinez? Has he just reached the age where he's not?
I don't know what he's hitting. Anymore? I'd like to see what he's hitting.
He's hitting 306.
He's injured a lot. Okay, so he's doing okay. But how many at bats does he have compared to? I just wondered. I mean, compared to the other.
It says he's got 106 plate appearances. Let's see what
That's
Bogarts
not bad.
has.
That's not bad.
Bogarts has 131.
Yeah, so he's only missed like maybe a week.
Yeah.
So that's
Bogarts hitting 347.
Yeah. I know.
Got to be at the top of the league.
Devers might be around 300.
308.
308. And both those guys can hit with power too. You rarely see the 300 hitter that can hit with power, but you know what?
Kiki Hernandez is not doing what he did last year.
No, but he's playing good defense.
167.
There you go.
Trevor Story, who they got from Colorado, 210.
I thought you were just going to say 67 with Story. He did hit a home run finally a couple nights ago.
Jackie Bradley, 189.
Oh, he's not going to hit.
Dalbeck, 146.
And they used to have a no-hitting Dalbeck. Now they have a no-hitting Dalbeck. What was Dalbeck's?
Brian Dalbeck.
Yeah, I believe it was Brian. Yeah, he.
This one's Bobby Dalbeck.
Yeah, he's
Verdugo,
can't play first base either.
219.
He doesn't look really good at first base. He missed a throw the other night. They could have won a game. He missed the throw. The throw was like right here. I mean, if anybody can see me, the throw was just like all he had to do was like put his glove backhanded. It was perfect. Not perfect throw, but 95% where you want it. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on there. It's like lack of concentration or lack of heart, maybe a little bit with the team. I don't understand it. Some of them look like they play with heart. Some of them look like they don't. Anyway, enough of me whining this morning. Red Sox beat the Rangers 7-1 last night. You talk about all this, and then last night they score 7 runs. Pitcher holds them to 1. So, Nick Pivetta allowed just 1 run on 3 hits in a season-long 7 innings. Imagine that, a pitcher in the major leagues that went 7 innings.
Yeah.
We laugh and talk about high school and Legion going to pitch count, and the majors went to it about 10 years ago. It's just not mandatory. The coaches have a pitch count too, and they get them out. The Reds last night 8-2 over the Pirates. The Brewers 2-1 over the Marlins. Kind of quietly. Brewers 21-12, and I think they lost 4 out of 5 before last night's win. So they really had a better record. Much better record percentage-wise than that, but now 21-12, and they don't get a lot of attention. Astros 22-11 beat the Nationals 6-1 last night. The Nationals have fallen on hard times too. Washington is struggling. 11-23, 4-14 on their home field. That's another one. If you've got the money. You're in a pretty good market. What are you doing? I guess is what I'm trying to say. What is it you're doing? Orioles have a better record than the Nationals. They're 14-19. They were beaten last night by the 10-win Tigers. Detroit 10-23.
Almost as hapless as the Reds.
Yeah. Yep. I guess the wins is about the same, right?
Yeah,
the Reds are up to 9. Yeah,
9 and 10.
Reds are up to 9. The Tigers have 10. There again,
Miguel Cabrera with a good game last night.
Yeah, I saw him hit a home run and a
double.
Yep. Just a great guy. Just a great guy. Wish he could play forever, but I wish he could play on a contender.
Wish he could play on I want to be a contender.
So who knows? Maybe at the end of the season, he's the one that gets traded away. Somebody looking for power in their lineup.
He's 39 years old, and he's still the best hitter on his team.
How about that?
Hitting 276 on the season.
And it's not like he's kept himself in tip-top condition.
No.
You know what I mean?
I didn't realize he was 6'4".
He's a modern-day Babe Ruth. 6'4",
267.
He looks like he eats what he wants, does what he wants, and just comes out there and smacks the ball around. You know, I mean, he's the modern day Babe Ruth, and you know, he has a lot of numbers to go with it. I mean, home run is he in the 500 club? He is, isn't he? In the homers, he's in the 3,000 hit club now.
I don't know. Probably.
I think he's in the 500 home run club. Incredible career, but
he probably is, because he's been doing it for a long time.
It just goes to show you don't have to have the fine-tuned body and everything to be successful in athletics this day and time. Which would that help most in of the three major sports? To just be, that you've got to work to keep your body. Because, you can say the NFL. But
it's got to be basketball.
But then you got offensive linemen. I think it's basketball too, because of constant running up and down, and down the floor.
Which brings up a subject that's not about baseball, but I've heard it all week and for the last couple of weeks on talk shows about the NBA playoffs. Has James Harden lost a step? Is he no longer the James Harden?
No, when you say lost a step, you're not referring to traveling.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about quickness.
He's not lost his step when it comes to traveling.
Yeah, he needed to lose a step.
Yeah, exactly on that one. But I mean, they're comparing to.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's what, 34?
34, 35, I think.
Yeah,
he could pass for 55.
Yeah, but what they're saying is, he's no longer a player that's going to carry a team.
What is it they say? Father Time's undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yep. Yeah. Father Time.
Miguel Cabrera.
Except for Tom Brady.
He has 504 home runs. So I guess, did that happen earlier this year?
I think it did. Well, if it didn't, it was at the end of last year, obviously. But, But I seem like.
And I think we talked about this stat after he reached 3,000 hits. One of three players in history with average above 300, 500 home runs and 3,000 hits.
Yeah, and those others were like Ty Cobb, maybe.
There was Hank Aaron and Willie Mays.
Yeah, okay. Not quite as far back as Ty Cobb. Think about that.
He's in good company.
He is in a category of hitting that only he, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron.
That's pretty elite company.
First ballot Hall of Famer. If he's not, the voters
he's
are
gotta
sick,
be.
Right? The voters are just sick if they don't vote him in on the first ballot.
I've never heard mention of him doing anything wrong,
Obviously, he's not doing
nothing illegal, but nothing, no personality stuff, no trouble of any kind.
Great teammate. And obviously, you can look at his body and tell he's not on the juice.
That's right.
Yeah, he kind of looks like what Barry Bonds looks like now.
Unless it's the orange juice and the all these juices. He might be on those, but he's not.
Who's the most out of shape baseball player you can remember that was really successful, even though he didn't really pay much?
Well, Jared Lorenzen, if he would have played baseball.
Yeah, Jared Lorenzen.
Well, what about David Ortiz? I mean, I don't know what kind of shape he was in.
Ortiz.
He was.
No,
he was heavy.
He was big.
Who was the pitcher back for Lenny? Lenny be able to tell me this one. Back in the 70s and maybe in the 80s.
That's what I'm thinking.
A big pitcher for the Braves and the Dodgers. He pitched for the Dodgers a while. He pitched for the Braves a while. And he was just okay. No, we had one that just retired 2 years ago. Pitcher, Bartolo Colon, way out of shape. You know. And finally hit his first career home run like in season 20.
What about David Wells? He never looked like
David Wells.
An athlete.
And he could make a uniform look bad. It didn't take him but about 3 pitches to make a uniform look
not exactly
sloppy.
Streamlined.
But there was a pitcher.
Yeah, that's right. The Dodgers.
Yeah, big guy. And I think he might have been a left-hander, a reliever that come in. But he was effective, but he was a big boy too. I cannot think of his name. That would drive me crazy the rest of the day.
How about golf? Let's go to golf.
Daly.
John Daly, of course, comes
and
to
then
mind.
John Daly's second, and John Daly's third.
Craig Sadler.
I can't remember Sadler's look.
He's a little paunchy.
Was it?
Paunchy. Yeah.
So who's the sharpest dressed golfer?
Oh, they're all
Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, could be.
He comes out in these bright orange suits like on, that's the one popped in my mind.
Yeah.
You may consider that sharp. You may consider it too loud or whatever.
Sharp-dressed man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Tiger on Sundays when he wore the black and the red.
Black and
traditionally, it looked pretty good.
Looked good.
Yep. Phil, not so much. Phil kind of reminds me of the not as much daily, but Phil's shirt tail and all might be coming out by the time he plays second.
Of course, now Phil is announced he's not playing in the next big event. What is it?
The PGA Championship.
So still getting fallout from his comments, correct? I would assume.
Well, now there's a whole new ordeal in golf, and I don't know enough about it to try to give an explanation. But there's a new competitor for the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Terry. I think that's that guy's first name that I'm trying to think of. It seems like it's Terry something, but go ahead.
That's about all I know is
not Fernando.
And they're supposed to start next month with
I was thinking
events.
Fernando Valenzuela. It's not him, right?
They're about to
he was overweight, Fernando Valenzuela. No, the new competitor to the PGA Tour.
Yeah. We're getting off.
I don't know
okay.
that much about it. But I know it's out there, and
that's it. Lenny sent it to me. But he put Foster, but it's Forrester. Terry Forrester is the guy I'm trying to think of. I think it's Terry Forrester. Look him up, Brett. See if he pitched for Braves and Dodgers. See if he's got a picture of him with gut hanging over. I love it. The gut hanging over the belt. But
you just don't see that anymore with modern day athletes and trainers.
Like I said, Cologne is the closest thing we've had to it, and he's recent. I mean, he's only been out of the league a couple of years now. He's out on a catamaran. Sailing.
Forrester did pitch for
Braves and
Dodgers and Braves.
No photo though, right? No image. It wouldn't fit.
I only got a picture of his face.
Yeah, okay. Did it look big? Thank you, there, Lenny, with Terry Forster. That's good. Come up with that quick. That's exactly who I was thinking of. Lenny says, here is a trash stat for the Red Sox entering midweek. And besides the poor hitting, they have blown 7 of 13 save opportunities. 13 save opportunities, and they blew 7 of them. So it's not so much maybe the hitting, it's the bullpen. And the Yankees' bullpen is fantastic. They've got the top bullpen right now in the majors. But Lenny said that's more blown saves than saves. So you bring in your closer, and whoever it may be, you're not one name because they've tried a couple, I think, and your closer's 6 and 7. That's
the recipe for success.
That's not too good odds, is it? Not too good of odds moving forward. Why would you even bring in the closer? I mean, why you bring in the closer? Because everybody else does. That's a lot. That's the reason a lot of decisions are made. And did I hear something on baseball? Did I hear this wrong or not? Next year you won't be able to put the shift on?
I know there's been talk about doing away with the shift. I don't know exactly what the change is going to be, but
is that good or bad? Or is it the right thing to do or not? Football, you can put your defenders
wherever you want to.
I don't agree
basketball,
with
you
it.
Can't. In the NBA, you can't, right? In professional
there's defense of 3 seconds.
You can't be in the lane.
Yeah.
So that is one sport that does dictate a little bit where you can play defense.
Yep.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to put a white line on the field all the way out to the center field wall? Well, they can't do it to the outfielder. The outfielder's going to shade one way or the other.
No, I'm guessing it's just
keep the
you got to have 2 infielders on each side.
Yep. And what will they do if one is caught stepping over the line?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can step over the line when the ball's batted. Maybe when it's pitched.
When it's pitched, why couldn't you?
I don't know. I don't know how. That's my question. How do you police that? What are you going to do, and what's going to be what would they do if you're on that side? They just say dead ball and it's a ball. You're going to put a ball up every time somebody.
I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, if there's no penalty, maybe they're just not going to let you pitch.
That's probably what it is. They just call time and make you get back.
Lord, that could
I am for.
That could make a game longer.
I mean, I could agree that you should have 2 infielders on each side. I mean, I'll go along with that.
Here's what I'll say about it.
Well, I wonder why some of these guys haven't started putting bunts down the third baseline. These big left-handers.
Exactly.
Counter it with another strategy.
Pay. If you can't make them pay for what they're doing, then you don't even deserve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a Major League Baseball player. If you can't bunt it down the other line or slap it at opposite field or something to make them play you straight up, I'm not sure you deserve to get the bat with them in their normal position. But the only thing is we've known baseball throughout the history. And every game you'd have somebody that had to shift on them because you got so many pull hitters.
You do.
But back then it was like maybe one a game on average. Today it's the whole team.
The whole team.
So I I'm kind of mixed on that one. But I just think, they're out there to get you out.
Yeah.
Let them line up wherever they want to. It's up to the batter.
Up to the batter.
Up to the batter to make them go back in the correct.
You're right. Counter it with something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you see Bartolo?
How about hitting
to
to
the
try to hit the opposite field? I mean, if
that's what I mean. Slap it the other way. Do something. Some of these guys have a shortstop. They'll defend them with the third baseman playing short, and everybody else is on the right side. All you got to do is put the bat on the ball on the left side if it stays fair and you can't get a hit. And then, you know what? You do that 2 times a week, and people are going to have to play you straight up. People are going to have to pay you straight up. Lenny says, I think Terry Forster and Goose Gossage both started out their big league careers with at the same time with the White Sox. Goose was a closer for the Yankees.
He was.
Back in the day, and a good one. Back when, I don't even know at that point if we actually called them closers. Who invented
the word closer?
There's a word for everything, and every year there's a new word.
Well, certainly when Goose was at his height, I mean, he was considered the closer or a closer.
And I remember the guy from Kansas City for so many years. Was it Quisenberry?
Yeah.
Was he their shutdown guy at the end? And of course,
who's the A's closer during their big run?
Eckersley. Dennis Eckersley.
Eckersley, that's right.
The A's, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought at first he said the ace closer, but and that's why I said Eckersley didn't pitch for the White Sox or whatever. But the Yankees had Mariano Rivera for years, and then you've had some of the guys that have moved around. Like, what's the guy's name that was with the Braves, and then he was with Boston, and still in the league, maybe. Out of Alabama, played his Legion ball in Alabama. I know that. But Rick, he says Rick Goose Gossage. I think
Rick Goose
that's what.
Gossage.
But come on, Brett, you know this guy. Both of you guys know this closer. I'm trying to think. Brian something. I think he's still in the league closing for somebody. I'm not saying he's very effective, but he was Red Sox when they won a World Series. He was with the Braves.
I was thinking Craig Kimbrell, but
that's it.
He's with the Dodgers now. He's the Dodgers closer.
Okay. Yeah, is he the one from Alabama that played?
I don't know. I don't know where he's from.
I think that's who it is. with the Braves. And
he pitched
that's
last
what
night.
Lenny said. Lenny says it's Kimbrell. Yeah.
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Wallace State Community College.
Oh, out of that powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
That baseball powerhouse down there in Wallace State. Well, I say down there. I'm not even sure it was down there. I'm guessing it was down there. If you go to community college, it's probably in Alabama, right?
Yeah, it is. It is in Alabama.
But maybe I should check it out before I am so sure of myself. All right, the last score I gave, I think, was the Tigers beating the Orioles 4-2 because we got off on the Tigers and Miggy and some of that stuff. Other games, the Mariners come from behind. While I was watching this game, the Mets were up 1-0 about the entire time, but now I see that the Mariners come back and won 2-1 last night over the 22-12 New York Mets. The Blue Jays fall to the Rays 5-2. Blue Jays have really hit the skids here now. They're down to just one game above 500, 17-16. The Padres over the Braves 11-6. The Padres 21-12 and haven't even been mentioned a lot.
It's an usual NL West race.
It is.
I mean, you got three teams that are all good.
Are there not four? Is Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado. They're up above 500.
Okay.
Too, so.
Yeah, Padres kind of. I mean, if you're in the division with the Dodgers, you're not going to get as much attention.
No. So the whole division is 500 or better.
Really?
Better, yeah.
So who's
in any other division?
Colorado is in fifth at 16-16.
Wow.
Arizona's 18-15.
Yeah. So
where did Arizona?
And they've won 8 out of 10.
Name me a player for Arizona besides Madison Bumgarner.
And Madison got ejected.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't know. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I can't name one.
I can't either.
Can't name one. The Twins 12 and the Guardians 8. Boy, the Twins were hitting the long ball last night. Royce Lewis with a grand slam in the game. for the Twins last night, who all of a sudden quietly sneaking up 19-14. You know, last year they were projected and predicted to go to the playoffs, but they had a horrible start. I mean, they started like 10-20 or something like that. Almost overcame it, but this year 19-14. I think they're a team to watch out for a little bit.
That Royce Lewis, I'm pretty sure, is their big top prospect that just came up this season. I think he was one of the top prospects
Early
in
draft.
all of baseball.
Good for him. Good for the Twins. Because like we said, we want to see some good baseball played in some of that. I wouldn't consider Minnesota and Minneapolis. If you look at their numbers, because you have to include don't just look at the population of Minneapolis. St. Paul is this neighbor city just across the river, and it's got about the same amount of population as Minneapolis. So they have a lot of people. It's a mid to major. It's kind of 3/4 of the way to being a major market, I would say, up in that area. Let's see. The Yankees beat the White Sox 10-4. Yankees scored 10 runs last night, and they hit 14 home runs in that game. You believe that? I saw some highlights, and it looked like they hit 14.
Yeah, they had 2 anyway, right?
Yep. Aaron Judge remembers watching Giancarlo Stanton from a distance during the his National League MVP run. So now they're teammates, and they both connecting on some home runs right now. That's for sure for the Yankees. I don't know. I'm to the point where you pitch them down and away, and if they don't swing at it, take an offer at it, then they can just go on down to first base. You know, I mean, that's about the way I look at it at this point, to get around those guys. The Giants beat the Cardinals 8-2 last night. Logan Webb 6 strong innings. San Francisco won their 6th. I'm guessing that's in a row.
Baby.
The Giants are 20-12. The Cardinals 17-15. I thought the Cardinals would, and it's everybody likes to say it's early, but are we still gonna be saying it's early at the All-Star break? But anyway, well, it was for the Braves last year.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody could do that again. But I thought the Cardinals would be better than 2 games over 500 after 32. Did you not? Maybe I've got them misjudged quite a bit. Royals 14, Rockies 10. You can tell that one was played in Denver, Colorado last night. A lot of runs scored. 31 hits in that game last night. An umpire's nightmare. How long did that game last? Angels over the A's 2-0. Chase Silseth, if I said that right, allowed 1 hit and 6 strong innings for the Angels.
Major league debut for him.
Was
out
it?
Of Tennessee.
Out of the state of Tennessee or University of Tennessee? Okay. How about that? The Diamondbacks beat the Cubs 4-3 last night. It says here the Diamondbacks played a ton of 1-run games last season and lost most of them. So I'm guessing this year they've turned. That's what it's going to say. They've turned the tide there and winning those 1-run contests. And the Phillies outslugged the Dodgers last night on the West Coast by a score of 12-10. Are the Phillies? You just told me that they beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 last week.
No, this is their first time playing.
Okay,
Who you talking about? He was talking about the Pirates.
The Pirates beat the
Pirates
Dodgers
did.
2 out of 3.
But the Phillies went. How did they do against the Mets? That's the series I'm thinking about. They played the Mets this week. I think they went. I think they lost 2 out of 3. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, but they just seem like they've got a lineup that could play.
Oh yeah, their lineup's great.
Yeah, they should be able to contend, especially in that National League East that nobody just flat, runs away with. It don't seem like. Just real quick, the Yankees lead the American League East by 4.5. I'm amazed at Tampa still, and that they're basically the only team right now.
Well, the Phillies have already played the Mets 9 times.
9 times.
They've lost 2 out of 3 each time.
Wow. That's a lot of. Woo. Well, you know what? They better start winning some of those because they're not going to have. But they don't have but 10 meetings left.
Yeah.
They don't play them but 10 more times. This early in the season.
I don't know if they want to play them 10 more
Well, maybe
times.
not. Yeah, probably glad to get it over with when you're losing. Boy, I could see that being a hated rivalry, couldn't you? New York, Philly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think the Giants and Eagles like each other too much.
No. Well, the Eagles don't like anybody. I mean, the fans, they don't like anybody. It doesn't matter what team you come in wearing. No, I guess some hate it a little worse than others. But real quick, the Yankees lead the American League East over Tampa by 4.5. Twins lead the Central by 3 games over Cleveland. The Twins are 19-14. They lead by 3 over Cleveland, 3 over the White Sox. The Houston Astros, in a very tight race, hold a half-game lead, 22-11, over the L.A. Angels, who are just a half game out. In the National League, the Mets actually have one of the bigger leads. It may be the biggest lead.
5.5 games.
In baseball, 5.5 game lead over the Phillies. The Mets are 22-12. The Phillies are below 500. So, somebody gets hot in there, they could maybe contend the Mets. But the Mets, I think, have a good enough roster. They're going to be good like this all year long. I don't think it's any kind of fluke at all. The Brewers lead the Central 21-12 by 3.5 over the Cardinals. Believe it or not, the Pittsburgh Pirates are in third over the Cubs. What has happened to the Cubs? What has happened to the Cubs?
Yeah, they're awful. I watched them
last
weekend. They played the Dodgers in a series, and I watched several of those games, and they're just – they don't have anything. They've traded everything away.
And why in a market like that?
Which is one of the top 4 markets in the country.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, Atlanta went through this, 4 or 5 years ago, where they just let everybody go.
Yeah.
They were horrible for a year or two.
And then they won the World Series.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you do that again? Are the prospects that good in your farm system? Because if they're not, obviously Atlanta's were, because most of those stars on that team came from their farm system, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I do too. The Angels, don't let me do that. Brett will be mad. The Dodgers lead the Angels aren't even in the National League West. The Dodgers lead the National League West at 20-11. The Padres are in a virtual tie at 21-12. The Giants a half a game back. This is a race right here, guys. Diamondbacks 3 and the Colorado Rockies 4.5. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks going to have trouble, but the other 3 I think could win it. Any of the other 3 have a chance of winning that division. Don't you think?
Yeah, and the Padres still haven't had Fernando Tatis at all.
At all? Not one game?
No, he went out in the preseason.
Okay.
And hasn't played yet. I don't know what,
But they do have Manny Machado, and I think he's been tearing it up. They do have Mackenzie Gore out of Whiteville, who's been a very solid starting pitcher for them in his first year on the mound for the Padres themselves.
Yeah, Tatis is on the 60-day disabled list or injured list. Had surgery on his wrist in March. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe not too much longer without him.
We're going to take a timeout before we do. Butch says the inventor of closer was also the guy that invented long other than tall. And he's talking about basketball there. They've gone to calling the terminology of these big guys he's long.
That's true.
He's not tall anymore.
Change the adjective.
Maybe they're measuring them when they're laying down, because that would be long versus tall, right? They wouldn't be but maybe a foot tall when they're laying down, but they would be very long. Very long. Manute Bol was very long. One of my favorite pictures ever is Manute Bol in that swimming pool. And I think he had his toes hitting one end and his hand. It was that close. He could he reached from one end to the other.
Manute Bol.
Yeah, one of a kind. Definitely. We'll take a time out. Thank you for tuning in to Sports Talk. Back with more after this.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us as we enter the second half of the show this morning. The answer here, answer Mr. Butch there, a question he has sent me, going through those baseball standings and looking at them, and the scores from last night. To me, we should be at a point where about 2 months in, start well, a month and a half in. I shouldn't say 2 months. Most teams played 33, 32, 31 games, something like that. So, but should be
I was
starting
talking a week or it might have been last week about how the Dodgers had played 4 or 5 games less than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I heard a couple days later they had a stretch coming up, or maybe they were in that stretch where they were playing 31 games in 30 days.
Whew. I love it when you play more games than days.
Yeah,
that's Legion.
And then yesterday,
Legion ball.
Yesterday, Clayton Kershaw was placed. He was scheduled to start last night, and he was placed on the 10-day injured list.
I saw that. What's that?
It's just his normal back tightness.
Yeah, he does
same
have
stuff
back
he's
issues.
dealt with. So that moved Walker Buehler up a day.
Buehler?
He pitched last night, and I don't know. They're not a good time to lose a starting pitcher when you got don't have a day off.
Yeah, speaking of
For a
Kershaw, I
month.
heard a debate somewhere on one of the talk shows. Is he now elevated himself as the greatest Dodger pitcher ever? I mean, I'm not sure what.
Yeah,
Kershaw?
I don't. That's hard to say.
They've been quite a few
yeah,
now.
You started talking about Sandy
they've had some great
Koufax
ones.
and Don
Sutton?
Drysdale, Don Sutton. Wow, I mean that's a real
Terry Forster.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Fernando's great.
Yeah,
Was great.
Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser. Yeah, wow.
Well, that'd be a good debate right there. Who would,
I mean,
who would you
I
want?
would have to say Koufax is still
to me,
the
still the
greatest.
trendsetter.
I would say. I
don't know that he
I would
had
ask
the-
the question: would I want Hershiser, or would I want who we discussing? I lost it again.
Kershaw.
Clayton
I'd have
Kershaw.
to debate that. Hershiser was great in his prime. He was. I mean, how many innings did he go? Has he still got the record for? Did he set the record for most scoreless innings? Because there was a time he really had a big scoreless innings streak going during his career.
And he played at a time, and he had the mindset of it didn't matter how many pitches he had thrown or when the last day was he pitched. You know, he wanted the ball,
That's right.
and would go out there and pitch as long as they would let him.
And he's the guy that if you saw on the street in street clothes, you would never think he had any athletic bone in his body.
Not at
You know
all.
what I mean?
No, he did.
Yet he came out there and took care of business on that mound.
My favorite, and Brett doesn't remember, but you might. I always liked Don Drysdale, the highest
Drysdale
kick.
was good.
What a kick he had.
yeah.
I mean, off the mound.
Yep. Then you came to Melbourne.
Gilbert Drysdale could be some relation.
They're both in L.A.
They're both in
Think
LA.
about it.
That's
They're
right.
both in L.A.
They
So,
sure were.
Yep. You know, the old Hillbilly shows had some Dodgers on from time to time.
Yeah.
That's right.
And-
Cameos.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I think the coach one time, Mr. Leo Durocher,
Yeah,
Leo
as Jed
DeRoche.
called him. So it was
Leo DeRoche.
was on there at one time or another. Lenny says, talking about Miggy. This is going to be confusing when Lenny's talking about Miggy. Talking about Miggy hitting the home run last night. 504 tied him with Eddie Murray. He is one double away from passing Barry Bonds, and that is legendary company, Lenny says.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know,
I didn't know Eddie Murray had over 5.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The great Baltimore first baseman.
Did it say it tied him with him or it passed him? What did Lenny's message say? Tied him with Eddie Murray. Yep. Who played for the Charlotte O's for quite some time with Cal Ripken Jr. back when they were Orioles affiliated and played double A ball.
we
in
saw
Charlotte
him in Charlotte
with the Indians.
with the Indians.
We sure did. Yep. How about that? The Guardians now. He would have been with the Guardians.
Yeah.
But
Still struggle to get used to that, but hey, it's a new world, and we got to.
that's one way to look at it. Definitely one way to look at it.
Now the Washington football team is now the Washington Commanders, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So does that pretty well cover everything? I mean, all the names and mascots that were controversial. I guess it does.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what what's considered offensive. You
Yeah.
still got the Chiefs and the Braves.
Well, that's true.
How many guys have hit 500 home runs? That just came to my attention.
Was it about 20?
More.
Is it?
28.
28.
28. I would have thought that would have been a shorter list. How many have hit over 600?
Yeah, it was going to be my next question.
Well, that's
It's a really
What?
select list.
7 or 8,
9.
9.
Keep going. He was there. 9. Yep. And then how many have hit over 700?
2 or 3.
3. Bonds being the most recent. What I was going to ask
Bonds,
is,
Aaron, and who?
Ruth.
Babe Ruth hit 700.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the standard for a long
Okay.
time.
Oh yeah, that was
that's
the
who's Aaron-
that was the hallowed number.
Whose record Hank Aaron broke was Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Okay.
My question was going to be, the reason I wanted to look at this is Barry Bonds the greatest hitter in our lifetime?
Yeah, I've always said he's the greatest hitter in my lifetime.
I mean, Rod Carew, I remember watching. He could really hit the baseball. Always for average. Tony Gwynn, really good hitter.
And
Pete Rose,
I didn't see
really
Pete
good hitter.
Rose enough
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Gwen.
To
hit-
know.
Yeah. Certainly Gwynn, one of the greatest. And
Bonds
Carew.
was a power hitter that never missed the ball.
Yeah.
He rarely swung and missed the ball, much less strike out. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's you
And
know,
I thought after him, Pujols, I thought was the best hitter after Bonds. And I still think Albert Pujols in his prime was the best one since Bonds.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see where Pujols is on the home run list. Do we know? I mean,
I don't. Surely he's over 500.
you think so?
I would think so. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, 28. David Ortiz is in that list over 500.
He's one of the best clutch hitters.
Yeah. Yep.
Of all time.
Pujols is a lot higher than I thought he was.
Is it close to 600? Over 600?
681.
Yeah.
He's only 19 from 700, joining the 700 club.
Amazing.
Yeah. A-Rod got to 696.
Yeah.
And nobody let him play again.
Yep.
You know? I mean, he got to 696. And that, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It seemed like his career went by fast.
I know.
I mean, like maybe he didn't play as long as everybody else, but had 696. Bonds 762, Aaron 755, Ruth 714. A-Rod is 696. Pujols 681. Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Thome 612. Would you guess Thome had hit
very
over
quiet
600?
612.
And he was a clutch hitter, too. He was pretty similar to Ortiz, I think.
So who is number 9? There's one more that has 600. We've named a bunch, but I don't think we ever mentioned. I don't think we have said this guy's name this morning on our show, but it's definitely in our lifetimes. Brett, in yours too.
Mark McGwire.
Mark McGuire's number 11, 583. Frank Robinson's number 10, 586.
Sammy Sosa.
There you go.
Where is he?
Sammy Sosa, number 9, 609. So. Steroids or not, I don't really care. I mean, the guys they were facing, I guarantee the guys, half the pitchers they were facing on the mound were doing the same thing.
Too.
It's just everybody trying to keep up with everybody. So the steroid stuff does not bother me at all.
Me either.
It wasn't illegal.
Wasn't
Come on,
illegal.
It was not illegal.
Yeah.
Baseball,
I still think Bonds is one of the greatest hitters ever.
yeah, because he's going to make contact.
Yeah. He might not would have had a 70 home run season without the steroids, but he was still a great hitter regardless.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think a lot of his home runs without steroids, they'd have still been home runs. He was just hitting them,
He was just
500 feet.
He was
because
hitting,
of the
he was hitting
steroids.
them all in McCovey Bay.
Yeah.
Was the thing.
Well, the best thing I ever saw was his baseball card, his rookie baseball card, when it looked like it was photoshopped and it looked like he weighed maybe 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And then it said today, and he's Hulk Hogan.
Well, of course, in his early years, he was a regular size guy.
He was, but not skinny by no
not
means.
skinny,
I mean, he's had the build of his dad.
Yeah, I mean,
He
his
was
dad.
also another great baseball player
That's
for
right.
your Giants
Yeah.
for many years.
That's right.
Lenny says, talking about Cal Ripken and Eddie Murray for the Charlotte O's, here's another legendary name you probably remember with them. And I'm gonna tell you who it was, and I do remember him because this guy used to hit some home runs down at Crockett Park that you lost sight of. Durango Hayeswood, and I don't know why he never became. I don't know if he ever made the major leagues.
Wow.
But he could hit. He could hit a baseball as far as anybody I ever seen. And yes, I did see him in person several times. Durango Hayeswood. I don't know his background, where he was from or any of that, but I know he was there with Murray and Ripken. And as a matter of fact, one game I went to down there, a guy pitching against him, Mike, you'll know this name, was Tim Stoddard.
Of course.
Tim Stoddard
Dirty Tim.
was on the NC State national champion basketball team in
74
'74,
team.
and he was a starter.
Yeah.
And then he was a pitcher in the White Sox organization, and I saw him pitch in Charlotte with the.
And had a good major league career.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yep. Seemed like he moved around a little bit, but I can't remember exactly where. But yeah, he did. Pretty effective, but big guy, obviously. Playing power forward for NC State.
Well, he was
back in the day.
of course, Baltimore. He was with Baltimore, so
That's what I was thinking. That he pitched.
He did.
That he switched over and actually was wound up in the in that organization. I just going down through here some names you don't expect to be on this list because it looks like this list has, well, it's got them all. I was just gonna get to 300 and up, and some of the names that have hit. Mike Trout's at 319. I thought he would be higher than that at this point. How many years has he been in the league?
About 10, I think.
Yeah.
Lenny said Hayeswood might have had a cup of coffee in the big leagues, but that's about the extent of his stay.
Cup of coffee, I love it.
Stop by for a cup of coffee. I'll see you guys. Cecil Fielder. How many of you think Cecil hit? Because Cecil Fielder, this is the stat of the day. This is the stat of the year. Three guys are tied at 319. Three guys are tied at 319. Jay Bruce.
Yep. Are you going to say
Cecil Fielder?
Both Fielders.
And Prince Fielder.
That is amazing.
They have both hit 319.
Prince and Cecil.
Yeah, I would have never thought that. But, Cecil, I mean, speaking of guys out of shape that play baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He fits into that category pretty high.
Well, how about Kirby Puckett?
Well thought of.
He was a little stocky.
Yeah.
But didn't Kirby Puckett play? Did he play center field?
Played center field.
You got to be in pretty good shape to play center field.
Yeah,
he was just very. Short, first of all, he was
short.
maybe 5'8", 5'7", and then he was kind of built like a tree trunk.
Would a guy like
but he
him,
could run.
With his physical assets as an outfielder, would he even get a shake in today's market?
Oh yeah,
baseball world.
He could hit.
I mean, they want their outfielders to be 6'1".
I don't care.
Right?
He could hit. I'd take him. I'd take him today.
He could hit.
I would take him today. Just a couple names. I'm getting off of this here in just a minute. Cal Ripken Jr. hit 431. Andrew Jones 434. Carlos Beltran, one of the most underrated baseball players in my opinion of my lifetime. Carlos Beltran, 435 home runs. Not to mention everything else that he did. Nelson Cruz is at 453 and still playing. The highest ones that are still playing are Pujols at 5, Cabrera at 28, and Cruz at 39. And then you have to go all the way down to Giancarlo Stanton, who's at 356 at this point. He may get to 500, 40 years over. All he's got to do is hit him 210 feet.
How about one of my faves from the old days, the Killer, Harmon
Killebrew. I'm sure he's on here, Mike, but they some mean name. It'd be hard for me just to.
Yeah, he would have to be in the fives, I believe.
Would he?
Well,
I'm
not
doubting you. I'm asking, is that where I need to start looking?
573.
Is he 573?
Yeah.
Just behind Mark McGwire and just ahead of also steroid-related Rafael Palmeiro.
That's right.
And Harmon, he just would kill a brew.
He would kill a brew and a baseball at the same time.
That's got to be one of the best. Could you imagine today's world if you had to kill a brew and the things that would be done with his name? It would
be amazing.
Yeah, like the Mets. Are the Mets better than the Yankees? I don't think so. I don't think so at this point.
No.
But they have the ability. They obviously don't have the power that the Yankees have because nobody does. But
no, they're really good.
They are good. Got good pitching. Just added. Seemed like they just
still
added
without DeGrom.
Added the right pieces. Yeah, right. They get a guy who comes back. They're going to expect him to win 3 out of every 4 starts.
Yeah,
so that's only going to add to how good they are. Only add to how good they are. High school baseball last night. Playoffs continued. You may not know that because most teams in our area moved their games up a day, and you could have actually played either day. Friday turned out to be a pretty nice day and a pretty nice night for high school baseball. And there were a couple games that featured teams that we want to mention this morning. What is the date of today? Somebody help me. I'm lost on the date.
Today's the 14th.
14th.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th.
Yeah. So today's the scary day, Saturday the 14th. Is that there's a movie named Saturday the 14th. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It came out in the 80s or right around 1980, and it is terrible. It's like a takeoff on Friday 13th. But I think it used to say, if you think Friday the 13th was bad, you need to stick around for Saturday the 14th or something like that. And don't waste your time.
Charlotte Lightning and Charlotte Christian play today at 1, if you're interested.
Well, Charlotte Christian's got the national leader in home runs, or did have.
It says they're 26-3.
And the guy from East Lincoln was third earlier in this week. You know, two guys were tied at 17,
now?
16.
16.
Yep. East Lincoln's hit 34, I think, home runs on the season as a team. They were playing Forest View the other day. You know how many they had hit all year? Zilch. Yeah. 34 home runs for a high school team is a pretty.
I wonder what the North Carolina record is single season for a team.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wonder how many Cherryville hit Ralph Roberts' senior year.
Well, he's not even on the list of top single season. You know what I mean? I would have thought he was, but he's not. I mean, if you get to 10 or 11, that seems like a lot, but you don't make that list because Paul Brennan hit 20 in a season, and that's the leader. And you know, it would take a miracle for Garrett Michelle to tie Brannon's record. I mean, they may play their last game. The next one could be their last.
Whenever they play,
because all games are elimination games.
Yeah.
And he has 16, and the state record's 20.
Still, what a year for that young man.
Oh, yeah. Headed to Virginia Tech to play his college baseball. The Reynolds duo got it done last night. East Rutherford beats Moorhead 6-1. Of course, the Reynolds duo say that, no, we didn't. The players did, you know, and I agree with that. The players have to get it done, but they beat Moorhead out of Eden last night up near the Virginia line, 6-1 last night to advance to the next round. This score, I think, was actually on Thursday. East Surrey over RS Central 3-2, even though it's got it listed here under the Friday scores as well. But I think I read it the day before. Marvin Ridge beat Weddington 5-4. East Duplin 8-4 over North Pitt. Now, I wanted to give that one because, if I'm not mistaken, East Duplin 23-0. I don't know that for a fact, but I think I read where they
that's right.
Are they 23-0.
They've allowed 36 runs.
In how many games?
23.
Did I say 23? Wow. Just barely over a run and a half at the most. That's incredible. Fuquay, who we know how their baseball's been because their Legion team and their high school team the last 5-10 years, they beat Middle Creek yesterday by a score of 9-6. On Thursday night, let's see here, try to get you caught up on what went down as far as Western teams. Boy, these first 20 games I'm looking at, either private schools or nowhere around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll say this, Tarboro, not too bad in baseball.
WCDHS. Who is that?
Wayne
Country Day.
Wayne Country Day. So Wayne County, I guess.
Goldsboro.
Yeah, that's right. Tarboro beat Wilson Prep 16-4, so they can play baseball as well. West Stokes beat Brevard 9-3. Uwharrie upset Drone. Drone, I think, was the number 2 seed in the 1A, Mike, overall in the West, and Uwharrie beats them 7-3. There again, the word charter is at the end of Uwharrie. Let's not forget that. Let's see. Other ones, T.C. Roberson, who really has played really good baseball, and that's a baseball school. And every time I mention T.C. Roberson, I always do this, ask you guys, what's the guy's name that made it to the majors from T.C. Roberson, played outfield for the Yankees a while. You looked him up, Brad. I think he's even still in the majors. But there again, I can't his name slips my mind once again. Brian something maybe? I can't remember. That may be totally wrong.
I was thinking, is it Cameron Maben?
Yeah.
Or not? Is that him?
That's it.
Yeah, okay. I knew he was from around
See how
here.
close I was?
Yeah. Did he start with the Tigers?
I think he did. Cameron Maben. I was actually watching the game one time when he belted a home run to left center field. So it was, Cameron Maben.
He had a pretty decent career.
Yeah, Lenny, thank you. Lenny sends me Cameron Maben as well. So that Brian helped everybody out.
Yeah.
It ended with an N. His first name did anyway. Davidson Day falls to West Chester Country Day, 12-3. That's in the West. It was Wilmington Hoggard over Cary 9-0, and I'm sure you can tell me that's not in the West because we know that. Let's see, more Mike, Cape
Nope.
Fear got shut out.
Oh, man.
Croatan beat Cape Fear 1-0.
Max Cady
1-0.
is crying in his beer.
Now, I didn't realize this till I made a trip recently. About a month ago, I was up in this area. West Forsyth beat Davie County 10-0. These two high schools are very close together.
Mm-hmm.
West Forsyth and Davie County are not far apart.
Right.
At
Well,
all.
I would have guessed Davie County would be around the middle of the county. Obviously, West Forsyth is on the western end of Forsyth County, and those
It's
two-
not on the east side. They just had to name it something different.
I've been to West Forsyth, but never been to Davie County.
Yeah, right
High
there at the
school.
Clemens exit, where we always seem to get off, get gas and stuff. We
Yeah.
stopped at, and that's where West Forsyth is. You go past those gas stations and that Dunkin' Donuts, and it's right there on the right. And I honestly think if you travel about 5 more miles and cross the county line,
Yeah,
you'd be at Davie County.
we went and watched. It seems like East Lincoln played a basketball game. A regional
And you're telling me I went.
at West
And
Forsyth.
I don't
Yep,
recall at
yep,
all, but
we
yeah,
went
I'll trust your judgment more than mine because your memory
It was-
is way better than mine.
late, probably about 15 years ago.
See, I ought to be able to remember that. Now, if it was 5 years ago, forget it. But or last night. But 15 years ago, I ought to be able to recall that one very. Who did East Lincoln play in that game? Trinity.
I don't.
Did we
know.
go to Trinity? One
I don't
time?
even know for sure that it was East Lincoln, but
Did
I
we-
think it was a 2A regional.
Yeah. Did we not go to Trinity one time and watch a game? Trinity High School.
I don't know.
See, now I got you. Of course, I don't really have you because I don't know if we did either. I just thought we did. Randleman, a lot of people think they will come out of the West. That a 2A powerhouse beat East Gaston. East Gaston's a good team. Have you seen this score?
It was lopsided.
11-0.
Ooh.
Yeah, and East Gaston was pretty good baseball.
Randleman
team.
won it all last year, right?
Did they?
I think they did.
There again, you're asking me a question that I can't answer. I mean, I know when I last saw Randleman play, North Lincoln beat them 2-0 in the 2A state championship, and that now has been 3 years ago. Okay, so they were in the finals that year, but they did lose to North Lincoln. But I honestly think after watching all the teams play down there, the North Lincoln I think was the best team in any class.
Yeah.
I mean, that year I just think they could have won the 3A or the 4A, or competed in it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Lincoln Charter beat Forbush on Thursday 7-4. Fred T. Ford fell to West Henderson. West Henderson 2-0. West Henderson now will be at home again. North Lincoln is the 5. West Henderson's the 4. North Lincoln was a winner 2-1 over Crest. They travel to West Henderson. But how lucky did the East Lincoln Mustangs get? East Lincoln won their game over Eastern Guilford 7-3. Carson upsets Kings Mountain, so the Mustangs will be at the Corral. They play at home. They get to host.
All right.
Yeah. As I think they're in 11.
Now, Ford's loss, isn't it the first loss for a Western Foothills 3A baseball team in the playoffs?
No, because
North Iredale
North
lost.
Lincoln-
That's right. Played North Iredale.
North Lincoln beat North Iredale, and Hickory lost their first round game
Okay.
too. This conference was loaded. They had 6 teams in.
Yeah.
6 of the 8 in the playoffs.
Still had a pretty good showing so far with 3 teams still in it, alive, St. Stephen's, East, and North, right?
They do. Yep, and good teams.
Yep.
Lenny gives us a really good trivia piece here. Not for a question. I could use it as a question, but this is something that Cameron Maben will always be remembered for. He was drafted by the Tigers, but got traded to the Marlins, I think, in the trade for who?
Miggy Cabrera.
Yep.
Okay.
How about that? So he was in a trade for what's basically going to be a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that'll
be his claim to fame.
maybe. He had a pretty good. I mean, a decent career. I'll say it that way. He stayed in the league a while. At least he made some money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Myers Park beat Audrey Kell 8-6. That was South Point falling to South Rowan 6-1. Don't know the guy's name, but the pitcher for South Rowan had 17 strikeouts against South Point in that period. There's only 21 outs in a full 7-inning game, and he struck out 17.
Cameron Maben had 13 stops in his major league career,
Golly.
and he won a World Series in 2017.
Got a ring.
Yep.
With in what year?
2017, and I don't even want to tell you who was playing.
Giants? No.
No. Astros over the Dodgers.
Astros over the Dodgers. There was a lot of over the Dodgers till the Dodgers won it
Yep.
a year ago or so.
He was with the Tigers 3 different times.
Was he really? That's sad.
And finished with the Mets last year. He was still playing.
But he got 13 years of pay, right? And
Well, 13 stops. Yeah, maybe
Okay,
more
yeah.
years.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe less years.
Yeah.
Could be, but it's doubtful. Probably was more years. than
2007 to 2021.
Well, long career.
Maybe he got a Bobby Bonilla contract.
15 years.
And he can get paid till the end of time.
Yep.
As we said, North Lincoln beat Crest 2-1.
He does Yes Network broadcasts of the Yankees now.
Well, I used to like him. I used to like him. I guess everybody's got to work. If you get a job, you just go do it, right? He was with the Yankees for a little while. Yeah, that is one of the teams he.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never with the Braves.
Yep.
Was he?
1 year.
So he got to play in Atlanta, which is close enough for a lot of his. A lot of people maybe wouldn't have got to see him play majors in person. Maybe got to go down and see him play. Cameron Maben. Let's see. Here's some more local scores. What I was going to tell you about Crest and North Lincoln. No score going to the bottom of the sixth. North Lincoln got a run, took the lead. Looked like they would hold off Crest, but Crest scored on a pass ball to tie the game with 2 outs in the top of the seventh, which forced North Lincoln to come back in, and they loaded the bases and drew a bases-loaded walk to end the game. Well pitched by both teams. I think it was Humphreys for Crest, and it was Kellen Carr. And let me go ahead and tell you, Kellen Carr struck out 10.
All about him.
6'5", left-handed
Freshman.
Yep.
Good basketball player, too.
Yeah. This kid is we may be calling his name out here on Saturday mornings of getting a win in the majors at some point because 6'5", I'm going to guess he probably throws 85 to 88 right now. I told Mike he'll be in the 90s by the time he's a junior, I would think. He's the real deal. I mean, he went to the mound in a playoff game, pressure situation, and never showed any pressure at all, striking out 10 batters in that contest before he gave way for the final third of an inning. St. Stephen's, Mike's already mentioned them and how good the conference is doing. St. Stephen's beat Parkwood 8-1, and Parkwood has a really good baseball history. So that's a big win for St. Stephen's. Bandy's fell to Mount Pleasant 4-3 in the second round. Cherville beat Mountain Island Charter 4-1. East Rowan over Inca by a score of 8-1. I tell you, Rowan, you know Rowan County is going to be good in Legion because all these Rowan teams were winning in the playoffs. Some Rowans, some Cabarruses. I mean, it's just they've had a pretty good run. So, and that kid that struck out 17 for South Rowan, there's a good chance he's going to wear some Rowan County navy blue before this season's out as well. So, yeah, they'll be Rowan, as always, it's no surprise they'll be a force when it comes to watch them not even make the state tournament now since I'm saying this. And go ahead.
I think Chair will be on the road in the third round. I thought I remember seeing that after playing twice at home.
And who would that be against?
I want to say West Stanley. I need to look
Okay.
that up.
The Stanley teams are all pretty good in
Yeah.
baseball too, so that
Yeah.
won't be
It says East Wilkes.
Okay.
It says it's a home game.
Home game?
Mike,
Yeah,
you're all over it.
I need to
One
pull
of
up-
you's
I'm
looking-
really all over it.
One of you's looking at softball.
I must be looking at softball.
I need to pull up the bracket here.
Is
I
my-
think I was.
Is my guess.
I think I was looking at
Cherville-
Cherville softball.
Yeah, East Wilkes is
Cherville's a 3 seed.
East Wilkes is the 27 seed.
Okay.
So they upset who? They had to pull off an upset to
Bishop
get there.
McGinnis
Okay.
was the
Hey.
11.
Good.
Yeah.
In the first round, they beat the 6, which all I can see is, let's see, Cornerstone Charter out of Greensboro.
Can't get away from
Well, at least they beat them.
them. Yes, they did. Now they can get away from them.
Okay, so the
Cherville beat Piedmont
Community
Charter and Mountain Island
Mountain
Charter.
Island Charter.
And East Wilkes beat Cornerstone Charter and Bishop McGinnis.
So East Wilkes certainly a surprise after being city so long.
Yeah. So
Okay,
and
so-
yeah, Cherville will be at home. If they win, they'll be at home again because the 2 seed is out of it.
Okay, so the road to for Cherville. Goes through Fraley Field, huh?
Fraley Stadium now.
Fraley Stadium.
I like it. That pretty much runs down our scoreboard. East Lincoln softball still going strong. Cherville softball still going strong. North Lincoln was eliminated. West Lincoln was eliminated. But I'll tell you this, both of them had good, solid
years.
They did. They both had good, solid years.
And that's really, how about some credit for A.J. Henley, Cherville softball, coming back this year, after his issues, first with COVID and then the lung transplant. You got to really feel good for A.J. to come back to school and teaching and a job and leading the Lady Ironman into the third round.
Yeah. I'm glad for him.
Him too.
So glad for him and everything that the things that he's gone through. 99.999% of people.
Yeah, he is a miracle.
Yep, don't have to go.
No, that's right.
Don't have to go through. One other thing I wanted to mention here, if I can find it, give me just a minute. The Caldwell Community College team has been playing in Pittsburgh in the playoffs yesterday.
Well, that's Division III, I believe, right?
Yep. Yesterday they got a win 12-0, and I'm trying to find it. I appreciate Rodney supplying me with this. I have to explain to Rodney. Of course, I think he copied and pasted some of this. You know how caps is just hard to read. Best 3-game series. Let's see. They beat Allegheny County out of Pittsburgh, 2-0. A 12-0 win. Am I reading that right? Yeah. It says 12-0 in that win yesterday, which means they now qualify for the Division III World Series in 2 weeks, a lot closer to home. Tusculum is where that will be played.
Good for them.
Let's see what else I got here. Lenny has sent me another message. Speaking of Randleman, listen to this. I was talking to East Gaston's coach yesterday, and he told me that Paul Brannon's son plays at Randleman. So there you go.
Whoa.
He said that he was going to UNC but might be drafted and do something. So Paul Brannon's son is playing high school baseball for Randleman. Now, here is what I wanted to show you guys. Rodney and family are up in Pittsburgh watching Seth and Caldwell Community College play. Mm-hmm. And I said, he asked me questions. He's been to Pittsburgh himself, but he asked me any recommendations. And I said, stay a half mile out of town. It'll be half the price.
Yep.
And I said, and eat at the Pomarny Brothers, downtown Pittsburgh. There
and
they are.
Awesome.
There they are. He sends me a picture this morning.
All right, Rodney.
Pomarny Brothers in downtown. There's several Pomarny Brothers there, but the one downtown is the original.
Yeah.
And you get the, to feel the
good sports
the
town.
feel of the city when you go downtown and eat at that one.
Speaking of junior college, just want to give props to my Gaston College team, 41-8.
How about that?
Nowhere to go though.
All dressed up.
Won their division in Region 10, but as a first-year program, for some reason, you cannot advance to postseason. So that's a shame.
That's very odd, isn't it? A first-year program
so.
cannot advance to the postseason. And I saw that. I read that, and I thought, wow.
You got to give them credit for closing it out. Really didn't have anything to play for except just for the –
Let me tell you what they've done, and then we got to take our final time out. They have established themselves as a very good baseball program.
Sure. In 1 year.
They won't have any trouble recruiting.
No.
And you know what? If he just brings in the local talent here, they're going to be good each and every year and be in the mix each and every year.
And the head coach, Sean Doty, has also been named just this week the athletics director too.
Has he?
Because the previous AD, David Nutt, left for a assistant coaching job in basketball at the University of Missouri.
Yeah, I saw that, going back to D1.
Back to D1. So Sean now wears both hats for the Rhinos.
We're going to take a quick time out. Rodney says Catawba. I keep wanting to say Catawba, but I got Catawba. I'm in Catawba County. I got it on my Caldwell Community College baseball team, 46-7.
Great record.
Now on the season, so not too shabby there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw Caldwell play Gaston in the season opener for both teams way back in February.
Lenny makes a very good point
Walker
here.
Stadium.
That's why Rodney couldn't go to the car and
That's
listen
right.
to us on the radio.
That's right.
Because it don't pick up quite that far. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more sports talk here in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call For-Member today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back. David, Mike, Brett here, along with you. Final segment of the show this morning.
Yeah, before we get anything else, guys, I want to know what your opinion. Racing news, horse racing. I know we never talked about it.
Oh, my gosh. Shocking news.
I mean, Rich Strike won the Kentucky Derby, but he's not passing. He's passing up the Preakness and
Why?
the chance of the Triple Crown.
Have you heard why? I heard he was not going to run, but I didn't hear why.
Something about they thought, the trainers and the owner, what's best for the horse is just to rest him up and get him ready for the Belmont Stakes. But if you don't run the Preakness,
Horse is holding out for more money.
I guess he's
or more hay.
I guess he's holding out for more hay, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little shocking. I can't remember the last time, or if that's happened. It may have somewhere in history, but
Yeah,
Preakness
not an
winner,
injury, not injury related.
Nothing seems to have come out about an injury.
And how about that race last week when he was?
What
isn't the
race.
jockey
The
under
back
some kind of
Is it?
investigation now or something?
Maybe.
Oh my! Oh, bad jockey.
He ate too much ice cream
What
and
got-
came in overweight.
What could you
I
obviously
don't
be
know.
under investigation for?
I don't.
I mean, that has anything to do with winning the horse race?
Yeah.
Is there something?
I don't know about that.
I don't either.
I heard it.
Is it race related?
And
I mean horse race related.
It says Rich Strike jockey Sonny Leon suspended 4 days for careless riding in race before Kentucky Derby win.
Careless riding. I did not know.
You get a ticket?
Charged with reckless riding.
I hope the cops never watch any of us ride a horse.
Oh, baby.
I've ridden horses a few
It
times.
says
and
his fifth
I
ban
probably
in
look
9
like
months.
I'm careless too.
Yeah, but he did. He didn't commit reckless riding aboard Rich Strike.
So they have police patrol cars set out
Yeah.
on the track all the time at the Derby. Hey, look at
Uh-oh.
this guy.
He's reckless.
He crossed the yellow line.
Yeah.
That horse crossed the yellow line. The drivers got to go.
It was just an incredible race. So brilliant the way he held the horse back, and then bang, you got to the inside, and whoa, it was exciting.
Yeah.
What, the second longest odds ever
Well,
to win the Kentucky Derby?
So what I was told was like $1 would get you, or $100 would get you 8,000. So every $100 you bet would get 8,000. Now, if you got the trifecta, which is picking all 3 horses right, number 1, 2, and 3, and getting them right, for every $1 you bet, you would have got back $360,000. So that would have been.
Yeah.
I'd like to have 100 on that.
Yeah.
But getting the trifecta, and people did get it. I was informed that there were a few that got the trifecta. Yeah, which was definitely what I would call a shot in the dark, because
It says Rich Strike's career earnings before last weekend were $111,000.
yeah,
He won $1.86 million for winning the Derby.
yeah. And how much did the horse cost? Is
30,000.
Yeah.
Only
30,000.
30,000.
30 grand, which is I mean, people say that much, but that ain't much.
And he only got in the Derby because there was a late horse
a scratch.
scratch very late, like on Friday before the Saturday running.
Rodney
That is
Willis.
a shame.
Rodney Willis says that's 24 straight wins for Caldwell on their way to that.
Wow.
Nice
what a
record
streak.
record of 46-7, including 24 in a row. So that means they took that from 22-7 to 46-7. Lenny says that Random had 4 Division I prospects, one going to Carolina, one to State, one to Virginia Tech, and one to UNC Greensboro. And their best pitcher might be a freshman at Random. So,
But didn't you also say that only have 2 players that are homegrown products out of Randleman?
No, I didn't
Something
say
like
that. I sure didn't.
What, you said something about.
I told you I heard that.
Oh, you heard
I
that.
did not say that
Right.
because I find that hard to believe.
I do too.
But still, it's it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
That many would, I guess, shock me.
Yeah.
If
It's
you've
the whole
got
team. Yeah.
only 2 out of maybe 15, but
Well, I mean, what do you guys think? If it's above board, if the district approves it, does anybody have a problem with that? I mean, stocking up, players wanting to play for, and doing whatever they have to do to get eligible?
not I.
Okay.
Wanted to mention the passing of NBA great Bigfoot Bob Lanier this
That's right.
week. His size 22 shoe. That comes from Lenny. I did not even know Bob Lanier died. I'm sorry to hear that.
73 years
And
old.
I had not heard that news.
Yeah, I read that.
He
He was 73. Had a long career with mostly with
Long.
the Pistons.
definitely
Yeah.
had a long career. So.
Great career with the Pistons. I think he was 6, 7-time All NBA. And he did a lot too. He was a player rep. He's been involved in NBA organization for many years. Play out of St. Bonaventure.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was the Ernie D. Gregorio was the point guard for that team that went to the Final Four, and Lanier was, of course, the big man at 6'11", 7 foot.
Just a couple things that have popped up on my screen here. Shooting near the Deer District sends fans scrambling. I'm guessing that's something in Milwaukee where the fans gather outside and watch, and hate to hear anything like that. Hopefully there were no injuries and no
I read
fatalities.
injuries, but at the time I saw the article, there were no deaths, but there were injuries, and it said 10 people arrested.
10?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe a fight broke out,
Could be.
and that's what started the shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe there were that many people
but just
fighting.
one shooter.
Yeah, it didn't say. It didn't say what the 10 people were arrested for.
Yeah, that's sad. One other thing, guys, where are we now in college baseball and softball? Tournaments, conference tournaments will be long before.
I saw softball was doing their conference tournaments.
Yeah.
Baseball is usually a week behind, aren't they?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Because the Women's College World
basketball's kinda
Series
the same way.
usually finishes a week before the men's, I guess, or something like that. So, yeah.
I think so. But now you caught me off guard with that, and I'm not 100% sure.
Sooners, baby. Lady Sooners, 50-1.
Lost to the best, didn't they? Lost to Texas.
Yeah, one game out of a 3-game set.
Jason Tatum, 46 points last night to force
Yeah.
Game 7 for the Celtics. 46 is a lot of points, especially in a playoff game. Let's see. Anything else on here? The Padres signed veteran Cano. Cano got sent down to the minors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what team he was with last.
The Mets.
The Mets, and he got sent down to the minors. Well, I can understand he's with the Mets. He's not good enough to make that lineup.
Yeah.
And Landry set to come home with Saints signing. So is that
Jarvis
Landry?
Yeah.
I had not heard that he's going to play in Louisiana. LSU star coming home to play for the Saints.
I
Who
really
And they
think
just
the
got,
Saints,
they put together a
Tyrann
good roster.
Mathieu.
they have.
A week
Yeah.
or two ago.
Yeah, put together a good roster. It's all going to be about new coach and Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Can they get it done?
And what about Michael Thomas? I mean,
if he's
did
healthy?
Did he play at all last year? I don't remember if he even
seemed
played.
like he might have came back and got hurt in the game he came back
Yeah,
in.
he's had just a real struggle with injuries. But, I mean, he was one of the best receivers in the league just, 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, just looking at my watch, I believe it's time for us to fly. There's your musical reference
Time for us
for the
to
day.
fly.
That's about all I got.
Little REO Speedwagon.
But I do want to mention this, speaking of music reference. Lenny tells me that today at the Don Gibson Theater in Shelby, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels.
Are you serious?
That's what he says.
Love to see that.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did say today. No,
Mitch Ryder.
Yeah, today. I'm trying to read it.
Devil
backwards.
with the blue dress on.
That's it. That's probably their most famous hit. And
CC
they
Ryder was another
performing-
song.
Yeah, performing today at
Wow.
the Don Gibson Theater in
Well, that's
Shelby.
pretty cool.
How about that?
Every now and then they'll have some real gems at Don Gibson.
Jim's.
Well, good acts or retro acts or.
I was just messing.
Yeah.
I was going GYMS instead
Yeah.
of the GEMS.
You got it.
For Brett Keever, Mike Powell, I'm David Keever. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget Baseball Tuesday night. We will be at East Lincoln. East Lincoln will be hosting Jesse Carson High in the third round of the 3A playoffs. Till then, see you there.